Out of the box, the Potensic Atom 2 is honestly one of the best beginner drones you can buy right now. But the default settings, well, they're sort of set up for convenience, not quality, not smooth footage, and definitely not maximum safety. Today I'm showing you 11 critical Atom 2 settings you're probably ignoring that will instantly improve your footage, make your fly smoother, and yes, one of these settings will make your flying so much easier when launching in tough terrain. I'll get to that later in the video. G'day friends, I'm Brett. I've been running my photography and video business for around 10 years and I use drones nearly every day in my business. I've tested beginner drones, mid-range drones and flagship drones, and I generally think the Atom 2 is one of the best value beginner drones you can start with. But as I said, like most drones when you first get them, the default settings are not always what you want. Okay, first up we have safety behavior settings, and honestly this one matters more on the Atom 2 than most drones because this drone does not have obstacle avoidance. So if something goes wrong, these settings decide what happens next. So what you need to do is click the little three dots on the top right here, jump into the safety tab, and the first thing you want to do is check signal loss menu. Make sure you set this to return to home, because that means if your controller disconnects, the drone comes back to you instead of flying somewhere random. And directly under that, you want to check the return to home altitude. Set this higher than any trees or buildings nearby. Usually 50 meters and above will do the trick. And the reason you do this is because your drone, if it loses connection, will fly up to that 50 meters, fly across to your takeoff point, and then come down and land exactly where you took off from. Remember, this drone does not have obstacle avoidance, so if you don't go up high enough, it will literally fly into obstacles on the way back. Okay, setting number 2 is to switch to manual exposure, which means go into pro mode. If you're finding that your brightness is changing mid-shot or mid-filming, this is wise because your auto exposure is on, and auto exposure ruins cinematic footage. And quite often the Atom 2 auto exposure changes during flight and makes footage look really amateur. So how you change this is to tap the camera icon on the lower right and switch to pro mode or manual mode. Set your ISO to 100 and control brightness using shutter speed. Now, getting your exposure right is honestly one of the biggest steps toward making your drone footage look cinematic, but interestingly, settings are only half of it, because even with perfect settings, most pilots still struggle to make their footage look professional, usually because of how they actually move the drone and choose their shots. I'll show you exactly how to fix that a little later on, but first let's keep dialing in these Atom 2 settings. Okay, step number 3 is to lock your white balance, and this is why your footage sometimes randomly changes color mid-clip. Now, auto white balance will shift color temperature during recording, so if you're flying in full sun and the white balance is nice and warm, when you fly into shadow or into shade, the white balance might flick it to really cool, so make your image look blue. So you go from yellow to blue, which is not good. You basically want to control this so it stays exactly where it's supposed to stay, so when you do the edit later, you're not fighting against color change differences. So click the three dots on the upper right, go to camera, then click on white balance. So if it's a sunny day, you want to set this to 5600 Kelvin. If it's a cloudy day, you want to set it to 6200 Kelvin. And if it's sunset, you want to go slightly warmer. Step number 4, shoot in high resolution always. You bought a 4K drone, don't accidentally shoot in 1080p. What's the point of it? You may as well use the full sensor if you can. And keep in mind, the Atom 2 does default to certain modes to lower quality, like in some of the quick shots it automatically defaults to 1080p. So how to change this is you tap the camera in the bottom right corner again to switch to manual, then click on the 1080p in this case, and set resolution to 4K. If you use quick shots, these settings will be different, so make sure you set your settings in each mode that you're using. Step number 5, use JPEG and RAW photos. This is the difference between fixing mistakes or being stuck with them. When you're shooting RAW, you get massive editing flexibility later on because you're retaining all that information in the highlights and all that information in the shadows, as well as your midtones. So quite often if you photograph something that's overexposed slightly or underexposed slightly, or even a fair way sometimes, you can bring that detail back if you shot it in RAW. And how you set this is you switch to photo mode if you're not in that mode already, which is by selecting the icon above the circle on the right. So you've got photo mode, then select JPEG at the bottom right of the screen and set it to RAW plus JPEG. That way you retain all your highlights and shadows in your RAW file, so you have more adjustability when editing later on, but you'll also have the JPEG that you can instantly share to friends or wherever you want on social media. And while you're here, don't forget to grab my free drone starter kit that is filled with tips and settings to get the most out of your drone photos and video. Link is in the description as always and below. Step number 6, turn on grid lines and center marker. This is the cheapest upgrade you'll ever make to your footage. And what this does is it improves your composition instantly. It helps tracking shots as well. That way you can easily follow the rule of thirds to make your footage look even better. And if you're not sure what the rule of thirds is, well, it's an invisible graph that photographers and videographers use to make the composition of a shot look much better than it actually does. You basically want to line up the subject of your footage to sit on the horizontal lines or the vertical lines, and ideally where they cross, like in this example here. So how to set this up is you tap the 3 dots on the upper right again, click on camera, and then on grid line on the right. So I want you to enable the thirds grid on the right and also enable the center point. That way you'll know exactly where the center of your frame is at all times as well. Okay, next is reduce sharpness and saturation, because the Atom 2 footage can look slightly over processed straight out of the camera. The colors are too bright and the footage is too sharp. So lowering sharpness makes footage look more natural and cinematic. And if you drop the saturation slightly, it's nicer to color grade later on as well. And how to set this up, of course, is to tap those 3 dots on the upper right again, click on camera, scroll down to definition and saturation, and change them both to -1. That's all you have to do. Number 8, we're going to tune your gimbal speed. And what this does is it slows the speed of your gimbal when you're tilting up and down, so it can look more professional when filming. And the default gimbal tilt speed is often too fast and jerky. So how we fix this is we click on the 3 dots on the upper right again, then click on control and scroll down to max pitch speed under gimbal settings and lower those values. Now we're going to adjust the stick sensitivity. If you're just learning how to fly this drone and you find the default stick settings make the drone feel twitchy, you can adjust them as well to make your footage look more cinematic. Lowering stick sensitivity creates smoother motion and easier control for beginners. All you have to do is click the 3 dots again on the right, then click on control on the left and scroll to control stick sensitivity. You want to lower pitch and roll slightly to 0.16, lower yaw to 0.16 and lower up down to 0.25. This will just make the drone behave a little bit less aggressively, which means you've got more control when you're filming. Okay, number 10, this is by far one of my favorite features. It is enabling one-handed takeoff. When the Atom 2 sits on the ground, its body is very close to the ground, so if you can't find a flat place to launch from, it makes it very difficult. Hand launching fixes that without any issues, so just click the 3 dots again on the right, then select safety on the left, and then look for takeoff with one hand on the right. Just enable that, and after you've enabled it, you can press the C1 button on the controller and pull down on the left stick control for 2 seconds at the same time, then release the control stick and it will just take off. Next up, we've got customizing your C1 and C2 buttons. I like to use this for switching from normal mode to sports mode, but you can use it for any of the options here, like ISO adjustment or cruise control. So go to the settings dots again, click control on the left, and then select button customization on the right. You have single press or double press options here as well. That means if you double press the button, you'll have a different function. So I'm going to set the C2 button to switch to sports mode on a single press, and then select toggle landscape portrait mode with a double press. That's just how I like to use it. The reason I like to be able to switch into sports mode when flying, by the way, you have to be 8 meters up off the ground before it will switch into sports mode. But the reason I like that is if you're flying around and you get some birds that are irritating you, you can just switch to sports mode and fly off quicker. Once your Atom 2 is set up properly, the next mistake most pilots make isn't settings, it's how they actually fly and compose their shots. And there are 6 filming techniques that make drone footage instantly look more cinematic, regardless of which drone you fly. If you want smoother, more professional looking shots, click this video next. Thanks for watching.